I built this 440-gallon rainwater capture system, but without boosting the output pressure, it's very limited in its usefulness. The requirements I have are to feed a drip water system, an automatic water system for the EarthBoxes, and a hose for filling the hydroponic towers. All three of these benefit from higher water pressure, and I also added a fourth hose hookup for general purpose watering. In this video, I'll cover the building of this booster system and the parts needed to make this work. I'll also put a link to the rainwater capture system build video in the comments. Also, I just wanted to note, several people have asked how I handle the overflow on the rainwater capture system. I'll cover that at the end of this video. Before we get into the actual build, let's do a quick overview of the booster system. The water's journey begins here at the rain barrels, then it goes through a hose into the booster house. I have a shutoff at the booster to make it easier to service, like when I need to clean the filter or if I need to replace the pump. The water then goes through this 40-micron filter before it gets to the pump. After the pump, it is split into 4 separate outputs, each with their own shutoff valves. At the bottom of the pump house, there are garden hose connectors for each output. I also have water meters on a couple of them to track usage and to make sure they're not leaking. Cleaning the filter is easy. I just unplug the pump, turn off all valves except one output to allow the water to drain. I then unscrew the filter and clean it, put it back on, and fire the system back up. This same isolation method is used if I need to replace the pump. The pump is connected with flexible CPVC and push-on connectors, so it can be removed fairly easy if I need to. As for the electrical, I added a power outlet into the box, and it is sourced by a GFI outlet. You don't have to get that fancy, an extension cord will do just fine. Just be sure to keep the connection high and dry. The supplies needed to build this system should start around the pump and filter. The filter is there to protect the pump, as diaphragm pumps can be damaged by dirt and debris. For sensitive outputs, like a drip water system, you may want another filter at the output. I have a sediment filter at the timer valve for mine. I went through several pumps before settling on the one you will see. The others constantly burned out or leaked. The one I am using now has been going strong, non-stop, and I've even run it dry by forgetting to open the input valve once. If you are just looking for a booster pump and not the complete enclosure like I'm building, this pump is all you need. It comes with a garden hose connector and a small sediment filter. I do recommend a better filter like the one I used, which also comes with garden hose connectors, so you can just attach the two together. By the way, I did buy this pump with my own money, along with all the ones that failed. This was not sponsored. You will also need piping connectors. This will vary by design. I set mine up to have 4 outputs, but you can do more or less. You can use the pipe of your choice. I use plain old PVC due to the ease and cost. Of course, you will need some lumber, paint, and miscellaneous hardware. Again, this will vary by design. Mine used a couple of 1x6s, 1x8, and a piece of plywood. It doesn't take much since this isn't a huge box. I also used some welded wire for the doors for ventilation to keep the pump cool. Lastly, you will need to decide how to hook everything up. I just use garden hoses. They are cheap and easy to customize to length if you want. I can unhook my pump box and take it in the garage in about a minute if that was needed. I had also prototyped and tested this in a plastic box before beginning the box build and used this method for connections, and it worked well. Alright, let's get into the build. The very first step is to figure out how big of a box you need. Do this by laying out your plumbing design on a board and leave plenty of clearance. It's better to go a little big rather than small. In my design, I have a water inlet, which is a female hose connector, going through a valve, then into the filter and into the pump. The pump output gets split 4 ways. Each goes through a valve and then to a male hose connector. I used press to connect fittings to the pump and filter so they can be removed if needed. I also allowed space for the electrical box. Again, you may choose just to use an extension cord, but leave room for that. Next, I built the inner box and back. For this, I used 1x6 material to make a box, and then just attached some plywood to it. I used fairly thick plywood, at least 1/2 inch, since you'll be mounting things to this. Now add an outer box using the 1x8 material. You should leave a lip at the front of around 3/4 inch, maybe just a little more, for the doors to recess into. Also, the back wall will have a recess, and this will hide the attachment to the wall. I sloped the top of my box to allow a roof that will run water off. This is optional and only needed if you think it may be exposed to rain. For the slope, I just made the back an inch higher than the front. The roof was made by gluing two pieces of 1x6 together and clamping them. I did have to rip the overall width, just make the back flush to the back wall and extend the front out an inch or two. With the basic box built, you can now lay the pipes in place and figure out where you may need support. You can see here I added a couple strips of plywood to clamp the valves in place, and that will also make the hose connection secure. Your design may vary, but this is a pretty good setup. I then drilled holes for the pipes to come into the box. Measure real carefully here. Next, I built some simple doors using a Craig jig. You can do it other ways, but this makes it really easy. I added welded wire screens to the front to allow for ventilation, to keep the pump cool, but it's probably not necessary. You can see here how I put the hinges between the doors and the frame for a nice clean look. Be sure to allow for this gap when making the doors. To hang the box, I used a French cleat design on the top and added an extra support board below. My original intention was to screw the box down onto the cleat and backer, but I didn't bother with this as the box is hanging tight and secure. This is the last step before I painted the box, and then I'll be ready to add the plumbing. I put all the hose connectors, valves, and electrical connections in first. The valves and connectors are clamped in place using these straps. I did have to rotate the valves a little bit as I didn't leave enough space for them all to be turned off at the same time. After they were done, I used some flexible pipe and push to connect fittings to attach the pump and filter, and then screwed them all into the case. All I had to do now is connect the hoses and plug in the pump, and it's ready to go. I'm overall very happy with the results of this. It's been working great, and it's easy to maintain, which so far is just cleaning the filter every few months. If I were to build it today, the only change I would make is to make it a little bigger, so there's more room when I was plumbing it up, but otherwise I wouldn't change anything else. Now for a little bonus, I've had several people ask how I handle overflow on the rainwater capture system. As you can see here, the system is built above this decorative rock bed. Because of that, I wasn't concerned about having the barrels just overflow and fall right into here. I 3D printed some caps that have a screen-like top so water can get through, but it keeps mosquitoes from getting into the barrels. I'll put a link to the 3D file in the video description in case you want to use the same design. If I wanted to add a proper overflow, I would just drill a hole near the top of the barrel and use a uniseal and PVC to route the excess water where I want it, probably back into the downpipe or on the ground somewhere. If you have any questions about my rainwater capture system, please leave a comment on this video and I'll answer it as soon as I can. General comments and ideas are also very appreciated as I learn a lot from them. Thanks for watching.